I'm Victoria, 32. Standing in my Manhattan penthouse, I'm looking down at the city lights twinkling like diamonds below. Just now, I hung up the phone with my father, and a sense of numbness washes over me. I'm not sure if I'll ever speak to him again. The Rolex watch in my jewelry box, a silent witness to the storm that upended my family, catches my eye. Its cold, shiny surface seems to mock me, a reminder of the night that changed everything. 6 months ago, I planned a lavish birthday dinner for my father, Henry, who is turning 68. Henry was a retired factory worker with a frugal mindset, shaped by years of hard labor and financial struggles. My mother, Grace, was a kind-hearted former nurse. They had always lived a simple life in a small town outside of New York. My younger brother, Ethan, 23, was an aspiring musician, full of dreams but short on practicality. And my sister, Lily, 26, was a school counselor, empathetic but often caught in the middle of family drama. I, on the other hand, had built a successful e-commerce fintech startup from the ground up. I was the CEO, and my company was thriving. I lived in a penthouse, drove a luxury car, and my bank account was a testament to my hard work. But despite my success, I always felt like an outsider in my own family, especially with my father. Weeks before the dinner, I was on cloud nine, planning every detail. I made a reservation at Le Chateau, one of the most exclusive restaurants in Manhattan. The thought of showing my father how far I'd come, of making him proud, consumed me. I spent hours searching for the perfect gift and finally settled on a Rolex Submariner. To me, it symbolized all the gratitude I had for my father's teachings about hard work and perseverance. I call my mother to finalize the details. "Grace, I've got this all planned out. It's going to be an amazing night for Dad," I said, excitement lacing my voice. But her response was hesitant. "Victoria, honey, your father is a bit worried about the cost. He's not used to this kind of extravagance." I laughed it off, trying to sound confident. "Mom, it's his birthday. Let me spoil him this once. I can afford it." The night of the dinner arrived. I wore a sleek, black evening gown, paired with a pair of diamond earrings that my mother had given me as a graduation gift. As I stepped into Le Chateau, the soft, ambient light and the elegant decor made me feel like I was in a different world. My family arrived on time. My father walked in, his eyes darting around the room, his face tight with discomfort. "This place is too much, Victoria," he muttered under his breath. My mother shot him a warning look, but it was too late. The tension was already thick in the air. We sat down, and the waiter presented us with the menus. My father's eyes nearly popped out when he saw the prices. $60 for a steak? "Are you kidding me?" he exclaimed, his voice rising. I felt my cheeks flush with embarrassment. "Dad, it's a special occasion. Just relax and enjoy it," I said, trying to keep my voice steady. Throughout the meal, my father continued to complain about the prices. Every time the waiter described a dish, he would interrupt with a sarcastic comment. "Do you have anything that doesn't cost a fortune?" he asked, his tone laced with irritation. I decided to change the subject and share some good news about my company. "Dad, we just landed a huge deal with a major retailer. Our revenue is going to triple," I said, a smile on my face. But instead of pride, I saw jealousy in his eyes. "Must be nice to make so much money while others are struggling," he sneered. My temper flared, but I tried to stay calm. "Dad, I've worked hard for this. I'm providing a valuable service," I replied. He scoffed. "You're just another greedy businessperson, taking advantage of people." The situation escalated when I presented him with the Rolex. I placed the small, wrapped box in front of him, my hands trembling slightly. "Happy birthday, Dad. I hope you like it." He looked at the box as if it were a bomb. Slowly, he unwrapped it, and when he saw the watch, his face turned pale. "How much did this cost?" he asked, his voice cold. I swallowed hard. $15,000. His eyes widened in shock, and then anger. $15,000 for a watch? You're out of your mind, Victoria. You've forgotten where you came from. All this money has gone to your head. His words were like knives, stabbing at my heart. I couldn't hold back anymore. Dad, for the past 3 years, I've been paying your mortgage, your bills. I've been taking care of you and Mom without a single word of thanks. And now you're criticizing me for spending my own money on a birthday gift." The table fell silent. My mother's hand flew to her mouth in shock. Ethan and Lily stared at me, their eyes wide. My father looked at me, his face a mix of shock and shame. I didn't know," he stammered, but I was too hurt to care. I pulled out my phone and called my financial advisor. "Cancel all the automatic transfers to the Henry family account immediately," I said, my voice firm. My father's face turned ashen. The following weeks were a living nightmare. My mother called me every day, begging me to reconsider. "Victoria, your father didn't mean it. He's just scared and doesn't understand your world," she pleaded. But I was done making excuses for him. Ethan called me, his voice full of disbelief. "I had no idea you were doing all that, Vic. But cutting them off completely? That's harsh." I snapped back. "Harsh? What's harsh is their constant criticism after all I've done for them." Lily, on the other hand, was more understanding. "I know you're hurt, Vic, but maybe there's a middle ground." I sighed. "I don't know, Lily. I just can't keep doing this." As the months passed, my parents' situation worsened. They lost their house. My father took on a part-time job at a local hardware store, and my mother started doing some freelance medical transcription work. Ethan and Lily tried to help, but their incomes were limited. One rainy Thursday, my assistant buzzed me. "Ms. Victoria, your father is here to see you." My heart skipped a beat. When he walked in, I barely recognized him. He had lost weight, and his hair was even grayer. He sat down, his hands trembling. "Victoria, I've been thinking about that night for a long time. I was wrong. So wrong. I was jealous of your success, and I took it out on you. Over the past 3 years, you've given us over $140,000, and I never once thanked you." I felt tears welling up in my eyes, but I held them back. "Why, Dad? Why did you have to be so critical?" He looked down at his hands, his voice barely above a whisper. "I was scared. Your success made me feel like a failure. I spent my whole life living within my means, and then you came along and built this empire, and I just couldn't handle it." We talked for hours. He told me about the struggles they'd faced since losing the house, about the pride he'd swallowed to take on a menial job. I listened, my heart softening. In the end, I decided to give him a chance. My company was expanding, and I needed someone with integrity and experience to manage the accounting department. I offered him the job, and he accepted, his eyes filled with gratitude. Now, 6 months later, things have changed. My parents have moved into a small apartment, and my father is working hard at his new job. We have dinner together once a month at a cozy, mid-range restaurant that my father chooses and pays for. The Rolex is still in my jewelry box. Sometimes I look at it and think about the pain and the lessons I've learned. It's a constant reminder that success without respect is meaningless, and that family is about love, respect, and understanding. I've learned that setting boundaries is not a sign of weakness, but a sign of self-respect. And I've also learned that sometimes the most difficult decisions can lead to the most profound growth. As I stand here in my penthouse, looking out at the city, I know that my journey has just begun. I'm more confident in myself, more aware of my worth, and I'm ready to face whatever the future holds.